Hiya folks, Greeno here. Where am I today? Well, I'm in a little place called Mickleham. Now this is quite near to Dorking, Leatherhead, that area of Surrey, just south of London. Why am I here? Well, there's a sign behind me that tells you there's a place called the Running Horses. Now this is a 400-year-old coaching inn. Hence the name The Running Horses, I suppose, because they used to have horses here. Now, the reason I've come here, Sunday lunch. Now, this place apparently has one of the best Sunday lunches in the whole of the UK. Now, there's a thing called the Good Food Guide here in the UK, and each year they name their top 50 of various different sort of subjects, but roast dinners is one of them. And this place is on it for 2024. Obviously, I'm now just into 2025. It won't be till the end of the year that they release that again. This should be absolutely spectacular. I've read good things about it. I am really, really looking forward to it. So we're going to get inside and find out what it's all about. So, are we going to gallop on towards a green light, or are we going to fall at the first hurdle? Let's go inside and find out, shall we? Well, folks, I've come in and been seated, and I've got to say I really like it in here. Very kind of rustic looking. Obviously, it's a very, very old building. And there's wood panelling you can see here behind me. Nice little rustic touches all around. There's kind of stoneware decorations on the table. It just looks really nice. It's really filling up in here now. I booked to come in at 12 o'clock on Sunday. I was a few minutes late because I got caught up on the drive a little bit, but not much. But the tables are already really filling up. So it's obviously a very, very popular place. Now, as I mentioned, this has been named as one of the top 50 places to get a roast dinner in the country. Let's see if it's worthy of that reputation, shall we? So from the menu, I've decided to skip the starters today. And I've gone straight to the roasts. Now, there's a variety of roasts there to choose from. I've gone for the chicken today. Wouldn't normally do so, but what intrigued me a little bit about that is it has a chicken bonbon with it. So a little kind of little ball, breadcrumb ball with the chicken leg meat in there. And I think that sounds really interesting to go with the supreme of chicken as well. Corn-fed chicken, so it should be really, really flavourful. Lots of good things to go with it on the side. Hopefully this is going to come with a Yorkshire Pudding. I think it does. Yeah, looking forward to this. And what they're calling Sunday gravy. Sounds special to me. Right, to go with that, well, for a small glass of wine here, Pic Boule de Pinet. Nice little French. Just kind of off dry. I think I'll go with the chicken really nicely. Right, folks, my lunch has arrived. I've got to say, it looks really spectacular. Come in and have a closer look, won't you? Right, guys, do you agree with me? That looks really appealing, doesn't it? It's on a lovely warm plate, which I really, really like. I've got to say, visually, it's doing it for me. Now, I've got to say, camera angle is not going to be great, I don't think, today. I'm on quite a small table, and it's very, very difficult for me to try and fit everything in. I've got to try and sit back quite far to get my head in the screen and the plate on the table at the same time. But what I will say is I like the look of the chicken. It's obviously been roasted and then sort of, maybe even sort of pan-fried a little bit, just to get a crisp on that skin. We've got some fabulous looking roast potatoes. They're quite big, but they look to have a really nice colour to them. Underneath the chicken, we have some greens of some kind, some cabbage. There's carrot under there, and there's a cauliflower puree too. We've got these two chicken bonbons here. So like little croquettes with the chicken meat in. Very nice. And of course, the giant Yorkshire pudding. Look at that. It's a monster, isn't it? So, I think we'll start with that, actually. It's interesting, because I've had a couple of comments recently, when I've done roast dinners, reminding me that Yorkshire puddings were kind of served as a starter originally, back in the day. So you'd have them with gravy before the main course came out. Now, reason for that, I guess, is to try and fill you up a little bit before before the main meal comes, so you can make the meat last a little longer, you know? Of course, roast dinner is supposed to be kind of a good way to make a sort of small, cheapish joint of meat stretch out amongst a big family. So, let's give this a try. That is a very good Yorkshire pudding. Oh yeah. It's got a nice little flavour to it. Cooked perfectly. Really crispy. Just see if you can hear that. See, really crispy on there. Nice and soft on the bottom. And let's get it dipped into this gravy. That's how it would have been served. The Yorkshire pudding with the gravy. So, here we go. That's really nice. Now for me, personally, if I was at home, there would be more of this gravy on the plate. But I'm sure if I need it later on, I can ask for some, and I'm sure they'll happily give me some. So, can you hear? Really good atmosphere in the pub here, isn't there? People are coming out and having a good time. I like that. That's what it's all about. I do film quite often in sort of empty, quiet restaurants. And whilst it makes it easier to film, it can be a bit boring. I kind of like it when you've got an atmosphere going on. You've got tables around me of people eating, enjoying themselves, families out for lunch. That's what it's all about, isn't it? So, I'm going to try these greens now. Now, cutting through them, I can feel they're not overcooked. So they're just cooked, I reckon. A little bit of bite to them. Oh, that gravy really has a lovely flavour. Quite a light gravy. Obviously made a specific chicken gravy to go with this particular roast. And it's good, let me tell you. It's got a lovely gloss to it. And a really nice flavour. Light yet intense at the same time. I have to get that balance right. Carrots again, just had a little bit of carrot there with my cabbage. Very nicely cooked. Properly cooked all the way through, but not mushy. Lovely. Onto the cauliflower puree. Now this just looks smooth. Really smooth. And it is. It's like velvet. Oh my goodness. That has clearly been made with a great deal of skill. Really, really good. Oh, we've got a bit of parsnip under here as well. We'll give that a try. Regular viewers will know parsnip is not always my favourite. But if it's paired with a good gravy, I'm sure it'll be fine. Not too sweet. Roasted nicely again. Nice and soft, but with a little bit of texture to the outside of it. That's not bad at all. Okay, that's the veggies mostly dealt with. Now we're going to get onto the stars of the show. So let's rotate this plate around a little bit so we can see these roast potatoes. So we've got 2 giant roast potatoes here. 3 giant roast potatoes here. One was hiding there. So that's a good portion, I think, of potato. And I like the colour to them. I like the way they've been roasted. So, the key with a big roast potato is to make sure that the inside is properly cooked through without burning the outside. Now we can see the outside is not burnt at all here. So it's got a nice colour to it. How is the middle? Oh, wow. Oh, my goodness. That is beautiful. They've obviously cooked that. I'm guessing they cooked that in chicken fat rather than duck fat or goose fat, because the flavour on the outside is very chickeny. And it's so crispy on the outside without being burnt. Really, really good. The inside is perfectly light and fluffy. You know what? I pride myself at home on being able to make really good roast potatoes. And bear in mind, I'm normally making that for our family of 4, occasionally 6 or whatever, if we have guests coming round. These guys are making them for who knows how many people. These are better than mine. Goodness me. They obviously have got some kind of potato alchemy going on out there. That is spectacular. The inside, like I say, is so fluffy, it's almost mash-like. I mean, it's that kind of attention to detail that makes a roast dinner, isn't it? Doing the simple ingredients well. The veg cookery on point. The potatoes, I mean, those are some of the best roast potatoes I've ever had in my life. Goodness me. Okay, moving on to this chicken now. Now, actually, I've cut a little piece off, but let me pick this up and show it up towards the camera so you can see the coloration on the top of that. Where, like I say, it kind of looks like it might have been crisped up on a grill pan or something just to get that skin crispy. Let's try this chicken though, see how it's cooked. Wow. The meat itself is lovely and moist inside. The outside, again, where you've got that slight caramelisation on there. It's so tasty. That intensity of flavour. Let's get a bit with the skin on here as well. And do you know what? We've dunked it into that gravy as well. That's only going to improve things, isn't it? That skin, again, such an intense flavour to it. But they've coloured it up nicely. The meat, so moist. When you pair it with that gravy, again, just, oh. Do you know what? Like I said, sometimes roast chicken, you look at that on a menu and think that's a bit of a boring option, don't you? Not a bit of it. This is outrageous. Okay, one thing I've not tried on this plate yet, I've been saving it till last because it's the thing I'm really, really interested to try, are these chicken leg bonbons. Now, I'd say they're more croquettes than bonbons. Bonbon you think of being as a round shape, don't you? So the breadcrumbing on the outside is perfect. Nice and crispy, nice golden colour to it. And let's take a look inside there. Look, can you see? That's the chicken leg meat in there. Some herb in there too. Wow. You're getting texture there from the breadcrumb. A more intense chickeny flavour because they've used the leg meat there. Pair it with that gravy again, shall we? Wow. Little touches like that, like I say, make all the difference. The quality on this plate is just something else. The gravy, the cookery on those potatoes, the way the veg is cooked, the little bonbon, this cracking Yorkshire pudding. I mean, goodness me, what's not to like? Oh, it's beautiful, absolutely beautiful, really good. The guy who I assume is one of the owners of the place has just come over, asked me how it is. And I just had to tell him it's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. It is. Do you know what? I'm going to celebrate that with a sip of this wine. Such a nice little compliment to the chicken, that. All right, well, I'm going to tuck into this. I tell you what, if the mains are this good, I'm definitely having pudding. So here are the dessert options. Apple and blackberry crumble with custard. That sounds good. Sticky toffee pudding, you know I'm a sucker for that. A vegan chocolate brownie and a selection of ice cream. Or you can get a cheese course, should you like. Crumble or sticky toffee pudding? Crumble or sticky toffee pudding? Good Lord, that's a tough decision. Again, this just looks great. The crumble Got a lovely kind of golden colour to it. Some sort of chunks in there. I don't know whether there's any oats or anything. I can't smell any oats. I think it's just a regular crumble. Apple and blackberry mixed together underneath there. I've been assured there is a smidgen of cinnamon involved, but not enough that's going to put me off. I'll be the judge of that. Also, we have this custard here. Now this is not an ambrosia. This is not your bird's custard. This is a beautiful homemade creme anglaise, I guess you'd call it, more than the custard. Nice consistency. And a very rich, velvety, vanilla flavour to it. Cool, that's good. That's good just on its own. That's another one of those things. Fill a bath with it, stick me in it, come back in a couple of days. Oh yeah, yummy. So much vanilla flavour. Okay, let's move on to this now. Served in this little kind of terracotta pot. Very hot. So it's obviously been baked in this little container here. Let's just dive in and get a bit of everything, shall we? Oh, yeah. Great big chunks of apple in there. Let me see if I can just show you that on the camera. Here we go, have a look at this. You can see it's steaming, it's so hot. Big chunks of apple stewed down with the blackberries and the crumble put on top. It is the quintessential English pudding, isn't it? What they've done there, quite cleverly I think, because they've left the apple quite chunky, it's stewed, but it's not sort of stewed down into a mush. So there's still a little bit of texture to it. The blackberries, however, because they're a soft fruit, have just cooked down and almost kind of transformed it into a sauce here. The crumble, again, because you've got some chunks in there and some little, tiny little bits, you've got mixtures of textures in there. There's some that are a little bit softer, some that are a bit crunchier. And a delightful balance between sweetness of that crumble topping and a little bit of sharpness from the apple and from the blackberry. Oh yeah. Got to put it with the custard, haven't we? That's what it's all about. Get a bit of everything going on together. There we go. That is a really good crumble. Now, the benchmark I always use for crumbles is my mum's. So it's a fairly simple. They probably have more topping than most, but I kind of like that. This is right up there with hers. That's exceptional. Well, 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 folks, it's another winner, isn't it? The running horses in Mickleham. As I've mentioned multiple times, one of the top 50 places in the whole of the UK to get a roast dinner, and I can see why. What a great lunch, what a great lunch. That chicken was so tender and so delicious, and all of the accompaniments really well cooked, really well thought out, really well presented. Just delicious, just delicious. The pub inside as well, really like the vibe of that. And it's busy, and rightly so. It's tucked in this tiny little village that's quite near some sort of big towns that you might not think of as great places. But in between them, you've got these little villages around. Yeah, really nice, quaint. And this place, 400-year-old building, and knocking out great food to this day. Lovely, lovely. Don't forget that crumble as well. The crumble was great. What's this dude up to behind me? I don't think you need a car like that round here, do you? The old Chelsea tractor. I don't think they're going to be doing much off-roading around here, are they? Get a proper car. Right. Anyway, I've got to come up with a score for this place. Is there anything that I would deduct any points for? I mean, the only minor criticisms I would have, and I mean we're talking minor, the custard, the creme anglaise with the crumble, was served in a ramekin rather than in a little jug. So you couldn't very easily just pour it over the top. I was spooning it over the top. That's not worth deducting anything for. Anything on the main? No. The service? No. The service was excellent. Let's talk about the price, because that's always a factor, isn't it? So we have the roast, which was £23. The wine was £8 for the glass of wine, and the crumble was £8 too. Subtotal of £39. Service charge 12.5%. That's £4.88. Overall £43.88. I think for the quality of food and the quality of service and the venue, that's more than fair. It really is. I know you can get a roast dinner cheaper at Toby Carvery or somewhere like that, but it ain't like this. It is not like this at all. This is a different league. I mean, I'm struggling to think of a better roast dinner I had. I really enjoyed the one I had at the other farm shop recently. But I think the quality here was even better. I think it was. Just exceptional. I mean, it's an easy 5 out of 5 for me. I'm not taking any points off for anything, because if I was, I'm just being overly picky. It was great. Really, really good. Does it get Greeno's green light? We're galloping on towards that green light, let me tell you. No falling at the first hurdle here. Absolutely brilliant. Loved it. Well then guys, if you've enjoyed this video of me here at the Running Horses in Mickleham in Surrey, don't forget, thumbs up on there for me please. And let me know what you think about this place. Do you think that's a fair price for the food I got? Let me know in the comments down below. Right, where to next? Well, nowhere for a little while. I am as full as an egg. Anyway, time to drive back down to Dorset, and we'll see where we end up on the next one. I'll see you then. Bye for now. Oh, that was good.